A new dawn over 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Several years have passed since Moana restored 𝗘𝘅𝗽𝗏𝗏's heart. Now a respected leader of 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, Moana guides her people in harmony with the ocean. Yet, she often feels an invisible pull from the sea. Dreams of an ancient 𝗘𝘅𝗽𝗍 in her sleep, of a forgotten realm beyond the known waters. As she gazes out over the endless blue, she wonders if her journey is truly over. A storm brews far off the coast, and with it, something awakens beneath the sea.
𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗍𝗃.
Strange waves disturb the shores of 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, carrying glowing shells and unfamiliar sea creatures. The ocean shows Moana a vision of a distant place shrouded in mist. Her grandmother's spirit visits her in a dream, warning of an imbalance rising in the depths. Moana senses a calling not just of exploration, but of responsibility. She decides to leave once more, this time with greater stakes than before. The village prepares her canoe with reverence and respect. A reunion with Maui. Moana sails through stormy waters to find Maui, who has gone into self-imposed exile. He's lost confidence, having noticed the world shifting unnaturally. The ocean no longer obeys his instincts. Initially reluctant, Maui denies anything being wrong with nature. Moana challenges him, reminding him of their shared destiny. Eventually, Maui agrees to join her but senses the journey ahead is unlike any they've faced. They set off toward the unknown together again. Into the mists of 𝗘𝘅𝗽𝗏𝗏𝗏. They travel toward the mythical trench of 𝗘𝘅𝗽𝗏𝗏𝗏, the deepest part of the ocean, said to hide forgotten gods. The sea becomes darker and more erratic the closer they get. Faint voices echo in the mist, confusing their navigation. Moana uses her connection with the ocean to guide them through the fear. Beneath the mist, an ancient temple emerges, built on coral and glowing volcanic rock. They dock, unaware they're being watched.
The sea witch's curse.
Inside the temple, they encounter 𝗓𝗏𝗏, a sea witch exiled long ago by 𝗘𝘅𝗽𝗍𝗏. 𝗓𝗏𝗏 believes the gods abandoned the ocean and seeks to awaken its ancient powers. She curses the balance of the ocean, causing coral to rot and fish to vanish. She warns Moana that 𝗘𝘅𝗽𝗍𝗏's magic is fading, and nature will take its own path now. Maui tries to fight her, but she disappears into a whirlpool. The ocean now feels less like an ally, and more like a test. Return to 𝗘𝘅𝗽𝗍𝗏. Moana and Maui decide to visit 𝗘𝘅𝗽𝗍𝗏 once more. As they arrive, they find the island dim, its lush greens fading. 𝗘𝘅𝗽𝗍𝗏's spirit is weak, fading due to a broken bond between gods and mortals. She urges Moana to seek the heart of the ocean, a forgotten relic predating the heart she once restored. This heart holds the key to reconnection and renewal. But it lies within the Abyssal Sea, an unmapped void of chaos and time. Gathering the ancient wayfinders. To reach the Abyssal Sea, Moana needs the help of ancient wayfinders who disappeared centuries ago. Legends say they live within the floating islands of 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, drifting in isolation. Moana and Maui navigate across exploding geysers and magnetic waters to reach them. There, they find a lost tribe that remembers the old celestial paths. The chief gifts Moana an enchanted star map passed through generations. With new knowledge and blessings, the crew is ready to voyage deeper. Enter the Abyssal Sea. The Abyssal Sea tests their courage. It's pitch dark, endless, and distorts time. Moana has visions of her past, her failures, and her fears. Maui, too, sees his greatest regrets play out as illusions. They must stay grounded in their purpose to avoid being trapped. When Moana sings a lullaby of light, the illusions shatter. A hidden passage opens beneath the waves, revealing glowing ruins of an ancient ocean civilization. The Guardians of Depth. As they explore the ruins, they meet the Guardians of Depth, colossal water spirits with bodies made of flowing current and coral armor. The Guardians test their intentions, challenging Moana to prove her loyalty to the ocean's balance. Moana sacrifices her own sail to mend a broken reef, proving her devotion. One Guardian, impressed, grants her a shard of the original ocean heart. But warns, one more misuse of power will doom them all.
Betrayal beneath the waves.
𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, returns, this time more powerful, having absorbed dark magic from the deepest rifts. She offers Maui a chance to reclaim godhood in exchange for the shard. Maui is tempted, reliving his desire for greatness, but ultimately refuses. 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 lashes out, creating a tidal chasm that swallows their canoe. Moana saves them by calling on the Guardian's shard, but it drains her energy. Maui realizes the cost of their mission is higher than he imagined.
Strandet in the lost current.
They awaken in the lost current, a chaotic underwater stream with no direction. Here, Moana doubts herself, blaming her choices for the ocean's suffering. Maui shares his own failures, and they finally bond beyond heroics, through vulnerability. Using pieces of wreckage, they build a new kind of canoe powered by spirit winds. Moana channels her strength and sails them out. The ocean begins to guide them again, healing from her resilience. Voyage of the Silent Waters. They reach the Silent Waters, a space where sound doesn't travel and communication is only through feeling. Moana begins to truly listen to the ocean's heartbeat. She discovers echoes of the Ocean Mother, an ancient elemental goddess. Through visions, the Ocean Mother shows her the full history, how mortals once helped the sea thrive, but later took without giving. Moana realizes their final test is not power, but restoring that ancient bond.
The final pathway.
To unlock the heart of the ocean, Moana must place the shard within the throat of Tanau'u, a volcanic whirlpool surrounded by collapsing sea cliffs. As the waters roar around them, Maui uses his hook to stabilize the boat. Moana dives in alone, guided by ancestral spirits and memories. Inside the throat, she faces a mirror version of herself, full of doubt and fear. By embracing it, she unlocks the heart's chamber. A blinding light surges through the ocean.
Moana's ocean trial.
As Moana resurfaces with the heart, 𝗓𝗨 arrives in full darkened form, now fused with void energy. She tries to seize the relic, declaring that the ocean belongs to chaos now. Moana refuses and uses the heart to invoke the Ocean Mother's spirit. A titanic battle of waves, magic, and song erupts between chaos and renewal. Maui defends Moana, nearly breaking his hook again in sacrifice. The heart activates fully when Moana sings the Song of Origin.
Rebirth of the Ocean.
The Ocean Mother rises in full form and absorbs 𝗓𝗨's darkness, restoring the equilibrium.
𝗘𝘅𝗽𝗶𝗵𝗴. Sea life begins to return. 𝗘𝘅𝗽𝗃𝗃𝗃 𝗧𝗨𝗋𝗋™ rise again.
Moana places the heart at the ocean's center, anchoring the new cycle of balance. She sees visions of future wayfinders, blessed by the sea. The ocean bows to her, not as a master but a guardian.
Maui's choice.
Maui is offered a choice to ascend to full godhood again by the Ocean Mother. But he declines, choosing instead to walk the mortal world and teach new generations. He asks Moana if he can return with her to 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. She welcomes him, realizing their journey was not just a mission, but a transformation. Their friendship, matured and tested, becomes a pillar of peace for the ocean world. Home to 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Moana returns to 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 with stories of mystery, courage, and balance. The island celebrates her return, and Maui is finally accepted by the people as a true friend. Children gather around as she teaches them the ways of old navigation and the new values of harmony. The village now thrives not just in tradition, but in evolution. Moana's father looks on with pride, seeing the leader she has fully become. Passing the paddle. Moana's father offers her the symbolic paddle of leadership. Moana respectfully declines for now, asking for time to create a bridge between all islands. She forms a council of voyagers across the ocean, uniting cultures through stories and shared knowledge. Maui carves a new canoe with children, smiling as they begin their own journeys. Moana watches the sunrise and whispers a thank you to the sea.
The Song of the Ocean.
Moana sings a final song at the cliff's edge, honoring the ocean, her ancestors, and the balance they've restored. The waves respond, glowing blue in rhythm. The guardians of depth watch from afar, proud of her choices.
The ocean motor fades into the tide, at peace.
Across the ocean, small islands feel the ripple of healing. A new age of exploration begins, not with conquest, but with connection.
A new voyage begins.
As the credits roll, we see a young girl from a distant island finding a glowing shell. She looks up, sensing something calling her, just as Moana once did. A canoe sails off into the horizon, silhouetted against a radiant sun.
Moana's voice echoes.
The ocean is not just where we go, it's who we are. And it's calling you now.
A new voyage begins.
Conquest, but with connection.
A new voyage begins.
As the credits roll, we see a young girl from a distant island finding a glowing shell. She looks up, sensing something calling her, just as Moana once did. A canoe sails off into the horizon, silhouetted against a radiant sun.
Moana's voice echoes.